All right, from the acclaimed Augustiner Brau Brewery out in Munich, Germany, comes Augustiner Brau Munich Light Export Beer. This is a 5.7% Munich Helles lager. They claim to be the oldest brewery in Munich. Munchner Bier Edelstoff since 1328 AD. So I guess they're the oldest brewery in Munich, which I guess is saying something. The Augustiner Brewery really is mostly centered in Munich. They mostly make their beer there. You can see them in all the the Hofbrau houses and the Oktoberfest celebrations as well. They have a huge tent set up, and they're really storied. They don't really export much of their stuff, and the only beers they export to the U.S., for example, are this one, and there's another one, Maximator, which is a 7.5% kind of a strong lager, I think. But even so, the Munich version of this beer, this Munich Light Export, is only 5.6% ABV. This is 5.7%. So I don't know whether it gets a little bit more in the brewing process, let it ferment longer, whatever they do. But it's a different, might be a different tasting beer than if you were to have this over in Munich. So it's kind of like the Guinness effect, where Guinness in the U.S. tastes far different, according to a lot of people, than Guinness in Ireland. I've never had Guinness in Ireland. I've only had the U.S. version. So I really can't say whether that's true or not, in my opinion. The brewery, as I mentioned, was established in 1328. It's Munich's oldest independent brewery. The company does not advertise at all, so it's basically word of mouth in Munich. Global Village imports this out of King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. And yeah, let's just get into it and see what we got here. We have a nice silver wrapping around the bottle. And this is the traditional 11.2 ounce bottle, not 12 ounce, as we are used to in the U.S. We'll pour into this Victory glass. And as we do, we see a very light, kind of straw-colored, almost a wit beer look to this. A very citrusy look, very pale. Almost like an adjunct kind of look, but it's very, very see-through, as you can see. About a finger and a half, maybe a little less of head to this beer, so a little frothy, dissipating a little bit, bubbly, as you can see, as we'll get the aroma now of Augustiner Brau Munich Export Beer. Yeah, very ricey, very hoppy, very cereally, with a little bit of spice to it. Maybe a tiny bit of like a lemon peel almost. Maybe a tiny bit of orange peel or something. But it kind of just smells like your normal lager, your normal adjunct. Just with a little bit more of a fresh kind of aroma to it. So let's get the taste now. Very crisp. Decent beer. It's got an all-around hoppy taste in the forefront and a bit of a bitter taste in the back. But out of a lager, remember there are two types of beers. There's ales and lagers. Most beers are ales that are craft beers, but others are lagers. So it's kind of interesting that there are only two types of beers when it boils down to it. A lot of subcategories, of course, as you know. But this is a decent lager. I really like this lager. Crisp, refreshing, just one of those beers that you can sit and have a few after mowing the lawn or something. And you can really hardly tell it's 5.7% either. That's really hard to believe. So I'm going to go ahead and give Augustiner Munich Light Export Beer. I will give it an 8.5 out of 10. Very, very good for this style. Decent appearance, as you can see, just looks like one of those just classic lager looks to it. Aroma, decent, little run-of-the-mill, not really disassociating itself from the rest. Taste is very crisp as well, just a great representation of the style. So 8.5 out of 10 for Augustiner Brau Munich Light Export beer. Thanks.